Now this show was called WrestleMania SmackDown, but oh boy, it felt more like WWE were trying to tell you, don't get too excited about WrestleMania.
That's cool!
Thank God we're all virgins, so we still have something to look forward to. Like WWE shows already have tons of ads, like 30-40 minutes of it actually, but in this show you also ended up watching a bunch of WrestleMania video packages, so you ended up getting nothing new. And the stuff that we did get was bad. Like people, this right here, that must be the worst thing I've seen all year. Oh my god. Like Charlotte Flair saying, that's cool for 5 minutes. I'd rather have Omos give me a veggie right now than watch this again. Obviously I'm exaggerating, it's not that big of a deal, who gives a shit. I mean, this whole show was basically building to the Hall of Fame, which I haven't seen yet. I'm gonna watch it after I, upload this video, so I understand that this was a pretty unimportant show, but then again, it was your last show before WrestleMania. It's called WrestleMania SmackDown, and I'm kinda struggling right here with this review because I'm not excited to talk about what happened. The show kicks off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which features people like Dolph Ziggler, Rude, Balor, Priest, which really is a shame in my opinion. If it at least happened at WrestleMania, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but Balor is not only the United States champion, he's Finn Balor. The match itself was alright, I guess. Wrestling battle royals in general are just not good. It's supposed to look like Royal Rumble, but it feels like a completely different match. It has a completely different vibe. Royal Rumble is like tea, and Battle Royal is like eating the tea bag. The last men remaining were Ciampa, Ziggler, Balor, Rude, Moss. Ziggler eliminates Ciampa, Madcap Moss eliminates the Dirty Dogs, and now it's up to Balor and Madcap Moss. Well, obviously Finn Balor is going to win, right? I mean, if it's on SmackDown, it's already on SmackDown, at least try to make this match look important and rebuild the legacy of Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. No, Madcap Moss won, ladies and gentlemen. He told a terrible joke and he was laughing his ass off at this decision, which I'm happy for the guy in a way, but we already know, I mean, he ain't gonna get pushed to the moon. It means nothing at all. And it's not that big of a deal. The match is not a big deal. It's a complete joke. We all know that, but I don't know, man. It's just kind of disappointing seeing all these talent not being on the show, which again, they don't need to be on the show. That's the whole point. Not everyone needs to be at WrestleMania, but we have 2 nights, ladies and gentlemen. A ladder match, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match, could fix this problem completely. Then we saw a triple threat match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, which should be a ladder match at WrestleMania in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, I'm still excited about Mania. I think for the most part it does look somewhat interesting. I'm just saying, you felt the need to have this match where you basically put a bunch of people in one match, in a match that nobody cares about because it's random and the championships mean nothing right now. In my opinion, a ladder match not only would make sure a lot of people are at WrestleMania, but also give us an entertaining match. That's the whole point. Whatever. The match itself was pretty fun. It was a handicap match, really. We saw quite a few interesting spots, but then, obviously, the egos collided. But Ricochet still ended up retaining the Intercontinental Championship. The finish was really, really, really good. Am I the only one who kinda believes this could have been a pretty decent WrestleMania moment? I'm not saying it should have been necessarily Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, but that finish was really, really good. Then we saw Carmella and Zelina Vega versus Naomi and Sasha Banks, in which obviously Sasha Banks and Naomi won. That's what I'm talking about. This match has no build. The only build we get from this match is all of these random ass matches every week. And it always feels like I'm watching the same thing. We saw Ronda Rousey training with Shayna Baszler. Kayla asks, why are you not angry? Rousey says, I'm angry, but I know how to control myself. At WrestleMania, Charlotte will either tap out or I'll rip her arm off. Ronda cannot control herself anymore. I'm so glad this match is no longer the main event. It's so boring. I don't even want to talk about this, man. This Charlotte Flair promo was a complete disaster. Like, honestly, it kind of just pissed me off because of how bad it was. That's the thing with professional wrestling, like, you gotta evolve. And almost everyone did. And that's why we still like these wrestlers. Charlotte Flair is on the main roster ever since, I believe, 2015, 2016, right? She is still doing the same thing she always did. She's the same character. She hasn't changed at all. She's cutting the same promo every week for years now. And it keeps getting worse. What I'm doing is cool. That's cool. You all want me. It's a pleasure to be in a match with me. We saw Jimmy Uso versus Rick Boogs, which is not the interesting part because we saw Austin Theory attacking Pat McAfee while he was dancing, and Michael Cole was like, "Idiot! You idiot!" I kind of dig the friendship between Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. I think that's pretty cool. So Pat McAfee is chasing Austin Theory, and my man Austin went to his mommy. "You wanna get fired? You wanna lose a WrestleMania match?" Ah, you sneaky bastard. How is Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee 1,000 times more interesting than Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the championship? The match continues, but we again saw Austin Theory throwing a drink at Pat McAfee, but Michael Cole calms him down. We saw Austin Theory, and Pat McAfee was like, "Kick his ass. Kick his ass." So obviously, ladies and gentlemen, it turned into a 6-man tag team match. And look, I've said this before, I'm not trying to be a mark anymore. I'm just saying, this was supposed to be an important show. And this kind of made me less excited about WrestleMania. Other than Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, that stuff was good. But Austin Theory and the Usos won the match. Now, obviously, the show ended with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns building their unification match at WrestleMania. I mean, obviously, except nope. The show ended with the most interesting rivalry, Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. So Corbin did make this a bit more interesting. He made it personal. So in the end, I am happy that we got this segment. So this promo focused on Drew McIntyre's sword. Baron Corbin brags about, debuting and winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, retiring Kurt Angle. But then he decides to make a joke. What do the sword and McIntyre's mom have in common? Drew lost both of them. Ah, shit, man. That was powerful. It does feel wrong. But I mean, it did the job, my man. It did the job. Drew McIntyre is all business. He takes care of Madcap Moss like he's a fly. Tried to kill Baron Corbin. Luckily, that didn't happen. And then he splits a table with a sword. So yeah, man, that was your SmackDown. Didn't feel like WrestleMania SmackDown, am I right? It did not. But yeah, man, none of that matters right now. We're getting WrestleMania. We're getting WrestleMania Night 2. We're getting Raw after WrestleMania. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, Veer is coming. And we're all coming with you, champ.